Hey guys, what is up? Alex Scott here with Consordini.com. Thanks so much for checking out another one of our mixing tutorial videos. Today I wanted to go over another thing that I get asked about a lot, something that I think a lot of starting and newcoming engineers out there are curious about, and that is mixing guitars. Okay, a lot of guys out there play guitar. A lot of guys out there mix for rock bands. Obviously, it's a very, very common instrument in modern Western music. So I just wanted to share with you guys a couple really quick tips and tricks on doing some interesting things with your guitar sounds. So I've got a track here that we did for kind of a licensing music library type situation. We've got 4 different guitars going on. We've got an acoustic, we have a rhythm electric, and then we have 2 leads. So I'm just going to show you guys a couple of very quick tricks on, when you have a couple guitar tracks like this, how to get them to all stand out from one another, how to get them sounding nice and clean. So the first thing I want to look at is our acoustic. It's a nice sound. You can definitely tell that it was well recorded. The first thing I always like to do with any element, regardless of what it is, but definitely with guitars, is remove any extraneous low end, which you can see I'm using a high-pass filter here to do. And this just gets rid of any bass rumble or anything that we don't really want. Now we can go ahead and take a look at maybe some problem frequencies that we don't want to leave in. Things like fret buzz. So I'm just creating a peak EQ here, and I'm going to listen for anything that sounds harsh or unnatural. So I'm going to roll back a bit at about 6K, but then I still want to have some really nice top end detail, so I'm going to boost a little bit at a much higher frequency, like 10K, to still keep some detail. That's pretty nice. It's also a little bit plain Jane and pretty dry. So one thing I almost always do to acoustic guitars is add a little bit of reverb. Okay, so I'm going to use this SAR1 from Softube, just, good all-around reverb. And you hear just a little bit of reverb on the tail on that, kind of warms it up. Another thing that I really like to do, especially if you want to bring a little bit of stereo width, is add a chorus. You don't want too much depth on it because then it can start to sound really strange, but it does help to just add a little bit of width without sounding too full-on chorusy. Especially as a texture in there, it works really well. And then of course you can always compress a little bit. I would usually go with a faster attack to help catch some of those attack peaks. So there you go. Really nice acoustic guitar sound overall. Nice little bit chorused, nice and wide, a little bit of depth from the reverb. So now let's look at our rhythm. So same thing, I'm going to remove all of the low end. Well, not all the low end, but all the unnecessary low end. And then I like to compress my rhythm guitars pretty heavily, so I'm going to use an 1176 style compressor. Medium attack. And a pretty fast release. And we'll do maybe a 12-to-1 ratio. That really helps get some juice flowing there. And that's all I'm really going to do with that one, because I feel like it's sitting pretty decently as it is. It's rhythm guitar. It is what it is. So then we have these 2 dueling lead tracks. Very cool parts, but if I play them alongside the rhythm, it's a little muddy. So whenever I have 2 dueling lead guitars like this, one thing I always do is I'll pan, kind of get them out of the center. Left 80 and right 80. And that's going to help them sit in their own space. So immediately that opens things up. We're also definitely going to want to cut our unnecessary lows. We'll do a low, high pass at about 100 hertz on each of these. Again, that's just getting rid of any rumble, any real low frequency stuff that we don't need that's going to muddy up our bass and our kick. We can also compress a little bit. You know, again, we'll do medium attack, medium release. We'll use our 1176 as well. Similar settings to the other guy. Faster release, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And we'll just go ahead and copy those settings from this track over to this track here. So then another last little trick that I have on lead guitars like this is, and a lot of guitar players will use a pedal for this. So if it's not already part of your signal, you can definitely add it back in, but a nice delay. Something like that. And I love delays that, you know, that aren't too rich. It's more of the top end and mid-range. Something a little bit more like that, and then we'll bring it back in the mix. Let's actually try a half note. So you can hear that just adds some nice dimension, letting those notes hold out a little bit more. So now you've got your electric rhythm in the middle, and then you've got your acoustic, you know, with that chorus is kind of spread around the outside of that, and then you have those two leads up there on the top end. So in context with some bass and drums, really nice sounding mix. So hopefully that gives you guys some cool ideas on what to do with guitar tracks. If you've got a couple guitars going on, I hope you guys dug it. You know, again, all engineers are different, so this is not an end-all be-all. This is just how I work. But how do you guys work? Do you have any cool tricks for mixing guitars? Let us know in the comments down below. Again, my name is Alex Scott with Consordini.com. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. We appreciate it, and we will see you in the next one.